A boat-shaped face. Thanks to that, he gave us a few benefits. First, let me start by a very original one. Let me start by showing you the anti-worm bed rig. So in that case, I'm rigging the anti-worm like this. As you can tell, I put the head on the other way because as the body is hollow, I was able to put my leader inside of it. So I take a floating one. We have both floating and sinking worms. But if you want to fish on a bed, here's what you can get if you use the anti-worm. So as you can tell, that's a very interesting thing because you can leave that worm with the hook outside on the bed. Oh. There was some goodwill. Next time. So you can tell, you can put the right hook to make just the perfect balance, to have just the action, just to have the angle you want. And basically, it seems there are some people liking this. So rig it like that, fish on the beds, or fish when those bass are very finicky, and that's surely something that's going to help you to catch them. You can play it very gently. You can have a very, very finesse action if you play that worm this way. And you know, sometimes it's really just a matter of time. You know, on those beds, sometimes you just have to wait the right time for the bass to be ready to say, okay, I swallow that bait now. One thing interesting I want to share with you, we just seen that with that bass. I find that when we fish on the beds, the bass always like to attack the head of the worms. So when you have a regular worm and the hook into the head, well, sometimes it's hard to get them, sometimes it's good. But with the anti-worm, because the body is hollow and we have those open hooks, we don't need to hide the hook inside, you don't need to pull a lot to set the hook. So they stay like that until the right time. Okay, let's change and let's have a different look. So that's one of the ways, I promise you, you're going to see a few different ways in action. I'm sure you will love with that bait. So let's go with a Carolina rig. Of course, that's one of the most popular ways to rig and to use a worm. Again, that anti-worm is truly not your granddaddy's worm. It's a very different one. So, as I said before, that bait is hollow and we have holes underneath the belly and we have a butt shape in front of it. So if I want to Carolina rig it, I can simply rig it with the hook in front and use it like any other worm. No problem. But look, if I use the grooves underneath the belly, what I get here, I put the hook a bit backward, and now, instead of having that weight, that worm dragging on the bottom, I will be able to fly that bait above the bottom. So look. Thanks to that boat shape, even when my weight is on the ground, I help that worm to stay a long time above the bottom. That means more visibility, and more visibility means more chances that the bass will see and target your worm. And that's very easy. You just need to follow the holes or the grooves that are already in. Come on. You know, I don't know if with the camera we can show you well. I believe so we can. If you see the worm in front of it, you can tell that worm have a boat shape in front of it. And of course the V-hull from a boat is made to help the boat, well, to stay above the water, not underneath the water. And that's one of the secret into that anti-worm, is that shape in the head. Plus, underneath the belly, you can see there are 3 holes. So thanks to that, that helps you to rig very quickly, very easy, but mostly very efficiently that worm, the way you want it. So, let's have a last cast with that rig, and after that I'm going to show you a few more rigs for that anti-worm. So you can tell, thanks to that V-hook, that lifts the worm, that keeps the worm above the bottom a longer time than you will be able to expect with a regular worm. That's a big benefit. Let's go now using a Texas rig, the other very popular rig for the worms, of course, just to show you that don't be afraid when you use a very innovative lure. You can also have actions which are very conventional. Play like this, play gently. Give it the action you want, leave it on the bottom as long as you want. You can tell when you watch the tail of that 80 worm, that's a pretty unique tail. That's not just a typical tail from a worm. Look, it's a split tail, but there's a lot of meat into that split tail. And thanks to that, we increase just enough, just a little bit, the way that tail is moving to give more lifelike motion.